Hi everybody, I'm Ruth and this is my second video of today, my second out of 3 videos that I am going to be uploading for children and young people who I would normally be seeing face to face. So in the second video I am going to look at self-help techniques that you guys can do at home in your own time. So the first technique that I'm going to show you is tapping or emotional freedom technique. And I've taught this to pretty much every person, young, old, who I've ever worked with, because to me it is just like magic. So this is the kind of technique that you can use when you're feeling either angry, anxious, worried, whatever feeling you've got that you want to get rid of. It's kind of a go-to thing. You can start tapping and the feeling will become less and less and less. And when we do that, it kind of teaches our body how to respond to negative feelings. So the more we do that, the more able we are to deal with emotions that would normally be quite tricky, quite challenging. And it's also a little bit like when you're learning a new skill, or when you're doing something physical like running or swimming or tennis or whatever. You have to practice it quite regularly. So tapping is something that you can also do, and all of the techniques that I'm going to teach you ought to be practiced quite regularly, so that we are regularly teaching ourselves how to feel good mentally. Like we would if we were trying to feel good physically, we'd have to do an exercise quite a few times before we saw any impact. And it's exactly the same with mental health. So if we want to feel good, we need to practice mental health techniques as regularly as possible. So tapping, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is something that you can be doing even when you're feeling good. Like you would clean your teeth every day, hopefully, and you would wash your face every day, hopefully, even if you felt like you didn't need to. So self-help, mental health strategies are exactly the same kind of thing. We can do them even if we don't feel like we need to, because at some point we are going to need to cash in on all of that resilience that we're building up inside. A bit like I was saying earlier, life can be tough sometimes, and if we don't let the emotions go when they happen, they will just build up and up and up until we explode with them, and we don't want that. So I am going to show you now the tapping strategy. So the first tapping point, and I'm going to come in quite close, is on the side of your hand, and you can do either. The tapping points run parallel through your body, so either side works. This one is fantastic for pretty much any emotion. It's like a general kind of acupressure point to deal with any feeling that you might have that you want to process. So this is a good one that I teach children and young people to do if they're feeling stressed in a public place, because you can do it quite discreetly. You could, hide your hands while you're doing your tapping if you felt a bit embarrassed. The next one, not so discreet, because that is on top of your head, and I'm just going to lower to show you, on the crown of your head. And when you tap on this point, it kind of opens up all of your acupressure points, your meridian lines, fancy word for the day, to help you open up and basically clear those feelings out. The next point, I'm going to take my glasses off to show you, are around your eyes. So we have the corners of your eyebrows. You can do one or you can do both. Side of your eye, again, you can do both sides if you wish. And underneath your eye. The points around your eyes are fantastic for letting go of angry feelings. So if you wanted to, if you're feeling really, really angry, you could just focus on the points around your eyes, and you might not need to do or want to do any of the other points. The next one is underneath your nose, and the next one is underneath your mouth. So these two are fantastic for letting go of feelings like guilt, shame, embarrassment, and those kind of things. The next point is one of my favourites, and I think everybody could do with this, is the release of anxiety. So if you're feeling worried or anxious, if you find, obviously we've all got bony collarbone, if you find the point underneath your collarbone and you tap on that point, and again you might just want to use this point only if you're feeling anxious. And I've used this, I used I used to be scared of flying, which I've told everybody this story, and I tapped on this acupressure point during a flight and it worked just like magic. So if you're feeling anxious, you can tap continuously on this point and the anxiety will dissipate. Another good word. It will disappear eventually, and the next time you're in a situation that would have made you anxious, because your body has learned a new response, your body's learned a new way of dealing with it, you won't feel as anxious the next time. Okay, next one, and we call this the monkey because it makes you look like a monkey. It's just underneath. I'm just going to kind of lean, so it's the side, bit tickly where your ribs are. And this point is really good if you have a mind that will think and think and think, and you can't really let go of thoughts of bad things that could happen and you can't slow them down. This will just help you to let go of them. And it's like I will often say, if it isn't happening right now, we don't need to think about it. But I do get that that can be very, very hard. Okay, so those even are the tapping points. I'm going to run through them again. So you might want to, if it's just for maintenance, if it's just because, you know, like you would clean your teeth, you might want to just go through the points bit by bit. And you might do this routine as many times as you wanted to. I would recommend, if you're just doing it for maintenance, you're just doing it because you want to basically feel good all the time, I would do this round probably 10 times. So just 10 times every day, a bit like cleaning your teeth or washing your face. If you were feeling an emotion that was quite overpowering, quite big, you might do the round lots and lots of times until you start to feel a bit better. You might decide just to do one of the acupressure points. You might really like that one, or you might really like that one. So you might just tap on that point while you're not feeling very good. So there are quite a few different ways to use it. Another way to use the tapping is to give yourself positive thoughts. So while you are tapping, you can be saying lovely things to yourself. You can be saying, I feel so calm. I feel like I can face anything. I am peaceful and I am strong. I know that I am good enough exactly as I am. I don't need to change anything about myself to be good enough. I love who I am. I'm happy that I am me. I know that everything is happening exactly as it should, and I like who I am, and I feel peaceful and calm inside. And when you've done the round, or when you've done your tapping, it's always nice to take a lovely deep breath and let it go. Okay, I'm putting my glasses back on so I can say goodbye. I hope that was useful, and I know I've done those strategies with lots of you before already, so you know the tapping is just a gentle reminder to tap, tap, tap when you're not feeling good. And this is for anybody of any age. This is a lovely technique to use, and I hope it helps. And I will speak to you later. Bye bye.